Veterans make up 7% of the entire U.S. It's a very small number, but it's a very critical number.
People often ask me why me and my wife support Camaraderie Foundation. Cannot thank Camaraderie enough. They saved our son's life.
For nearly 2 decades, I lived in the shadows. My breaking point came at a vacant parking lot on October 19, 2019. I was consumed by hopelessness with my hand on a pistol. I was convinced that I could end it all. I would be free.
It is because of that 7% that we enjoy the freedoms of everyday life. So how could we not give back to them tenfold?
This is not my biggest injury. It's not even close. Post-traumatic stress disorder, the fact that I'm the only survivor and that kind of stuff, that is my biggest injury.
I chose to suffer in silence for many years because of ego, my pride, fear, what it would do to my career if I went and got help. I was dealing with suicidal thoughts and really was not in a good place. The Camaraderie Foundation was able to be a resource not only for me, but also for my wife and my family.
Growing up as a Army brat with a career military dad who served 2 tours in Vietnam, veterans really do have a special place in my heart. A few years ago, I was invited by my boss to join him at the Lockheed Martin table for the American Patriots Gala. Days later, my father took his own life. My wife Ruth and I decided to attend the gala a month later. Little did I know how profound that night would be, learning exactly the Camaraderie's mission and purpose. It really is an amazing organization that's there for veterans and family members in those critical times of need to get focused on coming out of those times and ready to take on life.
Our military, veterans, and first responders' journeys don't end when the uniform comes off. That's where the Camaraderie Foundation really steps in, committed to healing the invisible wounds of war.
Invisible wounds of war relate to the experiences that our veterans go through, whether they're in combat, being deployed. When they come back to the U.S., come back to their families, many of them feel that they're not quite themselves.
You just don't want to admit that you're broke. I mean, at least that's how it was for me. I kind of saw that a lot of my behaviors were affecting my family.
I know a lot of people think the only thing that we really do here is to help individuals with PTSD, and nothing could be further from the truth. The readjustment issues. Individuals go serve our country overseas, then they come back home, and everybody at home expects them to be the same person that left, and they're not. They're never going to be. They've had different experiences, they've seen different things, they've had to do different things.
Some of the soldiers who are coming back from the deployment areas, they start getting a lot of troubles at home, troubles in the community.
When I came stateside, it hit me really hard. We're not trained to come home. We're not trained to, okay, now let's process what we just did.
Having a lot of PTSD just affecting through even my relationships with my parents, my siblings. Our marriage was in a dark place. I was gonna lose my family, lose my husband. DCF involvement and having your kids taken. I mean, that's like the most painful thing I feel like any parent could ever go through.
34% of our clients are dependents. Spouses, loved ones, partners, and children of those that have served their country.
I wasn't fully aware of what PTSD is or the effects it has on families. I don't think many wives, spouses, are fully aware of PTSD.
33% of our clients have self-reported a comorbid diagnosis between mental health, PTSD, and substance abuse.
My PTSD was out of control, and I remember my wife looking at me and saying, if you don't go get help, don't come home. Camaraderie literally saved my marriage. And that's because they don't just treat the veteran. They also treat the family, the spouse, the children. They help bring everything into your life and show you that you're not alone.
One of the toughest things to do is to ask for help. And as a military person, I understand we normally are given orders and we just execute. But this is one of the things that are life and death. And so you have to really take a step back and just ask for it.
We support everybody. Our clients represent every single branch of the military, with 51% male and 49% females. We have our counseling across the U.S., which is offered in person through a network that we established of over 675 licensed mental health counselors. It is critical to us that we meet them where they are.
The mission of the Camaraderie Foundation to provide support, services, and counseling for our veterans is so vital.
Over the course of our tenure, we have supported over 29,000 hours of mental health counseling. The funding for those programs and those services is coming from the grants and donations from our community, the many corporations who believe in what we do.
Let's help the men and women who serve our country and keep us free at risk to their own lives.
Camaraderie Foundation is able to do what we do best, thanks to your support and generosity. So as the night goes on, please remember to bid often and bid high. It is your support that is helping us in our mission of healing the invisible wounds of war, and you're helping us save lives and save families.
Saving lives, saving families.
Saving lives, saving families.
Our veterans need you just as much as they need us.